We got real quiet.
That's that respect, man.
What up, everybody? What's going on, y'all Zoom? See y'all on there? How y'all feel? How y'all feel? All right, you guys, this is a supervisor school. We're here to learn. We're here to learn how to grow your business, how to maintain your business, and how to make some expand. Yep. So who's ready for that? Yeah. I'm ready. Man, y'all don't sound like it. Who's ready for it? So we about to learn from the top achievers in the business. In our reading.
Yeah, right.
On the IE, show how the IE grow. So the first person I'm about to bring up is the person who made this all possible. In IE. He put the whole city on his back, you guys. That's probably why his calf's so big. Right? But he has a big heart, you guys, no matter what. He's here for us. You can lean on him, but he'll give you that little shoulder shove and get you up off of him. So, my dog, Super Mario McKinley! 15K press team. My bad, my fault, man.
Let's go.
That was off that.
There we go.
Here you go,
Damn, monster.
I'm gonna take your hands off.
That's all good.
Hey. Upside down. DJ.
Nah, no DJ. We can't play music. We can't play music because they won't approve it when we like upload it to YouTube. So that's the only thing. It sucks, but it is what it is. What up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Yeah. Do me a favor because there's a feeling I like to get when I speak. From big stages to even little crowds, and we want to get people as close as possible. So, is there somebody between you guys?
Me?
Yeah. Cool. Come up. Ryan, come up. Come up to another row, you guys. So yeah, that's what we want to do is always be closer.
6'1".
And as a speaker, you always want the room to feel. As a speaker, you always want the room to feel the right way. Whether that's people settle down, whether you want to make sure that the people are close and impact. Now it feels a little different. Now, whatever emotion somebody's feeling, it's going to touch the other person. And it's like electrifying. So everybody can get electrocuted one row across and then backwards and then everything. And if y'all juiced up off the right stuff, life change, right? So now it feel good. What up, y'all? And the Zoomers, however y'all looking, y'all look cool too, man. Look, try not to look at these guys. So, look, you guys could have been anywhere in the world, and this was an all call to everybody. So those who are able to log on here, for those who are local who actually came, it says a lot. And, it was intentional to see who was going to come because as leaders coming here, we were trying to find out who was really about that life.
Yeah.
I was going to say it. I'm glad he said it with me, too, because I'm glad that everybody's on the same page. You want to know who's about that life. You want to know who, when they say that they want a goal or they have something to do, are they willing to do whatever it takes, right? And it's no excuses. It's no nothing. So introducing myself, Super Mario McKinley. Please say the super. 15K President's Team member. So that means President's Team and a half, working on doubling what it takes to get Pres Team by still creating a lot of org, still staying in the trenches, still being about that life. You got to stay in, right? It's there. So still staying about that life. So 4.5 years ago, starting the business and on the products, losing 10 pounds in a week got me really, really convinced. Well, I'll be accurate, 8 days. It got me really convinced that the products work. And then, immediately sharing with my brother and having him lose 10 pounds in a week, it really solidified the confidence that I could have speaking about the products and what that'll do. I also got my first client even before I actually tasted the shakes. So I was convinced on how simple it was to retail and started being able to see a lot for, my future and something that I could do at the current time because I was on unemployment. I was making shirts and selling shirts, and they were good, and I could have even sold a lot more, but it's not the type of grind and hustle that I wanted was to do all that wholesaling and printing and paying all these other people to, create my stuff. So, when the first check came after I got the supervisor and it was $590, I said, look, I can't double dip on the unemployment and the checks because they'll tax you for that. They'll come get you. It's happened before. It must happen to all you guys. Everybody shaking their head. We tried to get away. We tried to get away with it. I did. I did. So, I put myself against the wall. I put myself against the, my feet, my heels at the edge of the cliff. And, I didn't file for unemployment again. I said, if I don't eat, if I don't do Herbalife, I don't eat. If I don't work, I don't eat. If I don't get a client a day, that was my mentality to get a client a day. If I don't get a client a day, and then grow this check at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen. And I was already in love with the community. I was already in love with the products. I was already in love with dreaming and possibilities. Okay. And so it didn't take very long to, really understand the marketing plan. Once you understand the marketing plan, it's a wrap, right, Ruben? It's a wrap. Hopefully you guys all understand the marketing plan so that it gets to that point where it makes sense to work harder, show up more, sacrifice, contribute, do everything that you hear somebody tells you to do because we see that it makes sense because the dream can literally turn into reality. And Herbalife, each moment and each time that, something was supposed to happen, whether it was active world team, the check would come. So it's like, well, if this is true, then you might as well go to global expansion team because the check comes just like that first check came and I didn't know. And so once you get it, you get to be reconvinced every month on what's possible and what's available. And then you just could evaluate your own months and say, well, I know I didn't work to make the check grow. I know I didn't get a lot of people onto products, have them have the same results that I had too as well. So, for 4.5 years, that's been, the goal, that's been the mission. My mission was to create a great feeling that I felt before being at the beach in LA, being at the clubs in LA. I wanted to create that feeling. I wanted to create that environment that people come into and it's nothing like they've ever seen, but they want to be a part of it. And even more than that, I wanted something that people could come to and say, I want to create that. So when I went to my first fit club, I said, oh, I can't wait to create a fit club this big in the IE. So early on, it was the vision. Same for you guys, as you guys start losing weight, 10, 15 pounds, or like the energy is different and waking up feels different. You immediately want to share that with people. And then you come to the club and you're like, man, I can't wait. So I think of a cool name. And I decide to open a nutrition club and have my team in there and be able to run workouts and be able to grow royalty and train people in my club that looks the way it is, whether it's green, whether it's orange, whether it's light blue, red, all black, whatever. And you get to name it and own it. It has to be a vision. It has to start early. And that's going to be the most important thing in the whole business is knowing where you want to go. And then being accountable to yourself mostly for that. And then understanding that as your team grows, you got to be accountable to them because you got to be the hardest working person in the organization. Once you start, shout out to all the supervisors. Woo! Shout out to anybody that's a brand new supervisor. We don't jump around a little bit in this first 30 minutes. Brand new supervisor, you're a brand new supervisor in the last since extravaganza. And you might not even know what extravaganza is. So stand up, please, if you're a brand new supervisor. Awesome. Ray, you was a supervisor before extravaganza? June, okay, right there. Stay up, Vincent, man. So real quick, we want to just have you guys all, share your name and your health results. Starting with you.
5 minutes.
Hey! Hey! Yes.
Hi, I'm Nancy.
Nancy! Nice. 24. Nancy, where your button? Yep. Nancy owes some push-ups. Go ahead.
Major Kyla.
Okay.
7 pounds in 1 week and I'm down 4%.
Nice.
My name's Jerron. I lost 14 pounds.
Yeah.
Nice. Great. From the back.
My name's Vincent. I dropped 40 pounds my first 2 months of my nutrition plan.
What's up, y'all? I'm trying to get game overall. Got 74 pounds.
74 pounds. It's an elementary school kid.
I'm Corey and I lost 96 pounds.
Yeah.
And I had a really hard time after gaining, but now I gained 4 pounds in muscle.
I started out like that 22% body fat, and I'm down to 8 pounds.
Give it up for the brand new supervisor. Supervisor, the brand new supervisor are the lifeblood of the business. You should always be wanting to have new supervisors because that's more people into the business, which is going to actually grow your own distribution network that you're creating as you're sponsoring people. So how many people here is their first supervisor school? Not a Zoom, but like a school. First supervisor school. It's your first school.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it up. So we'll be doing these a lot more frequently, and we'll have, guest speakers coming from, out of the city, out of the IE, from LA as well as some of the leaders having like a full day to train you guys, not just telling their story and their hardships and their challenges and their overcoming of hardships and challenges, right? Their successes and then why they stay in the business, casting their vision for you guys, everything. We're going to get a lot more consistent with that because the IE is the best place in America.
The best.
If you go back 200 years and you come through the Cajon Pass and you understand how fertile this is, right? How everything grows here, how the weather's awesome, how we're in such great proximity to the mountains and the beach and, how the rivers used to look and everything else like that. The fertility is here. So the seeds that we get to plant into people, they're still ready. It's still fertile soil of people out here, right? And so what can blossom when we put these awesome seeds of love, positivity, business, empowerment into people, you're going to see massive orchards, and the orchards is money trees. And y'all got to get excited about what your life gets to look like as your money trees start growing, as you create an army, right? And they're full blown, and they create armies, and they're full blown. That lifestyle exists, right? So once again, shout out to everybody who has their first supervisor school, everybody who's ready to take an amazing amount of notes. I'm excited because as I'm sitting here and I got like my tab team members here, I'm excited for the value that they're going to be able to bring to you guys today. I'm excited for how eloquent they are, how close that door, Shelby, real fast. That was like a double actual strike too. No sleeves, got sleeves. Right. Yep. Yeah, close it. Close it. Right. Hey, it's cracking in here. So, what if everybody outside? So, as we think about our lives and our business, you guys, you got to think about your sacrifices. Okay? You got to think about what you're willing to give up because as Saturday comes, people have these inclinations to do certain things that normal people do, that we already have done or we ordinarily do, commonly do, typically do, which when you're going into becoming a president's team member and beyond, or you're becoming somebody ridiculously influential and impactful, in words like typical and common and ordinary and average, well, you can't averagely do, like Saturday I averagely do something. But see, the words I have was popping. Thank you. So you gave me a good word, you know, and then your husband just, yeah, he came with averageness, you know. But there's no space for that. It's different. It's who shows up to a training and is excited about it, you know, and recognize that the people who are going to stand in front of them, or you get to be that person that stand in front of people to bring value, is priceless, and it's going to take you to the next level. And when you talk to, you know, your upline and your downline, then you get a chance to really, really be able to connect to the overall big picture. So who here is from Great Habits? Yeah. You guys silently make some noise? Or who are Mambas? We got 2 Mambas. 2 Mambas? 3 Mambas. Oh, 4 Mambas. Who's like the heroes? All clear? Yeah. Green light, restrict. What about who's on the super team? Yeah. You're on the super team. All of y'all too. Wait, where the Avengers at?
They on the Zoom.
Let's go through, man. Let me see how many we got out here. What up? Where's all the urban heroes at?
Yeah.
Who in here is on Team Herbalife? Now, see, and real quickly too, as well, in terms of like first timers, how many people first time in this building ever? Nice, welcome. Welcome. So I'm gonna say welcome, and it's an always welcomeness, right? So in terms of our workouts, you guys can go check the schedule. Of course, a lot of us who work out at this club, we post our schedules online and everything else. But while you guys are here, take a picture of the schedule in the back so that you guys know what time we're doing classes, so that you guys can come, and bring people. Because no matter where you're at in the city, maybe you know somebody who has a little schedule and you want to introduce them to some stuff. We make great shakes here too. Is you want to have them feel the full environment, because we do Herbalife for real. Okay? And so that's how it is. So it's like a welcoming. As well as at Great Habits, it's an open door to say, yo, if you need to use the club, bring value, bring contribution, as in your great Herbalife energy, bring that first with your client, or with your potential client, or with the person that you're going to do for a wellness evaluation, so that it transmits through every single club. And if you go to other clubs, and if you go to LA, you'll feel that energy and say, hey, this is the energy that I also want to bring. Or let me make sure I bring the energy that I was groomed to bring. And if you're not yet energetic, that's the one area that you better get in tune with really quick, is to be the happy, go lucky, chipper.
Yeah.
Chipper. Yeah.
Excited. I mean, it gotta be, you gotta make it so that people are uncomfortable around you, because normal people aren't always excited, right? And always ready for what's next. Normal people are no people instead of yes people. And so you got to be so much in that and aligned in that people are like, man, it was weird, but it's I like it. I've never experienced it, and because it's throughout everybody, then they're like, but everybody's like this. But you're such a big part of that. You have to be part of the everybody. You have to be part of the us. We're crazy. We're excited. We're happy all the time for no reason, right? Just imagine you can't be excited when the check comes. You got to be excited before the check comes. And so there's going to be a lot of content, and there's going to be a lot of, as supervisors, you guys are leaders, right? Anybody got a regular job here still? Not regular, but anybody works a job that's not a life? You guys have managers or supervisors, right? Guess what they do? They supervise people or they manage people. So what we're always doing when we're in front of you guys is showing and explaining how to be the leaders to supervise and manage people into their own leadership. And so you have to take it very, very serious that what comes from the front is going to only be for you to be better, which when you're better, who knows what it is? You make more money, right? You attract more people who want to become clients, who also are going to want to make more money because you're better at helping people make more money because you're a money maker. You can't help somebody do something that you're not doing. Woo! Who's a money maker?
Yeah.
Who's a change maker? Who's trying to earn some change?
Every penny counts.
I will find some change. I don't want to earn change. I will pick up some change that everybody wants to buy. I don't want to. Nah. I'm talking about the change. This is a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. So when I'm saying earn change, as in I'm saying earn crumbs. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to earn crumbs, right? That's the whole point. That's why I put my hand in. I don't want to earn no change, right? We're going to make change to earn beyond change, right? So when people ask you, hey, you got some change? Not like coins, but I got to change for you. You got to change to put in you. You got to change. We all got to change. Right? Shout out to the whole team. I'm very, very pleased to see the faces. I'm very, very pleased to, hear look, I don't know what they're going to say. I kind of know what they're going to say, but I don't know what they're going to say, but I'm excited for it. And what happens to be able to say this, there's a word, right, to give somebody their kids. Like, if you give somebody your kids, what do? Like, how do you feel about that? You trust them, right? These are your trusted leaders. Some of them are your direct sponsors, right? Some of them are 1 level or 2 levels above. I'm 2 or 3 or 4 maybe levels above, you guys in terms of sponsorship and everything. So it's a whole lot. And it's a whole lot of experience. I'm the eldest in here in terms of Herbalife experience, and it's not that much. We're talking about 4.5 years, 4 years and, 7-8 months almost. That's it. And then Marcus Auday, less than a week after. Vanessa, very, very early in there. Ryan was around there. But hey, 2012 people. Me as a 2012 person. You know what I'm saying? 2013? 12? 13.
The end.
The end. Extravaganza. Like Vegas, baby. Mandalay Bay. We was there. Shout out to everybody else in Vegas! September. So, just speaking about those things because, I'm just kind of, I guess I'll just be the comic relief, start everything off before they get into the serious stuff, hero serious. You get a chance to do some amazing things with amazing people. I mean, this room's amazing. But the potential of what and who we're going to be is not even tapped. You're a sliver of who I am even a sliver of who I will become. Not who I could be. It's a big difference. Forget who you could be. It's who you will be. You gotta say, I will be, and, have it be something magnanimous, broad, royal. You get to create a kingdom and then buy castles, right? And then buy fast AMG chariots or whatever it is. But you got to say, I will be that person. Not I will be that, number. Don't put it to the dollar amount of number. But you got to think about how valuable you have to be, right? If you show up for people, hundreds of people, this is dozens of people. We're talking about hundreds of people that aren't here or who will eventually see this, right? Or who are about to come in. You got to think about how impeccable you have to be. How much you have to get rid of who you are now to be better for everybody else, because they're going to be slower into their development of shedding away the parts of them that are inhibiting them from being magnanimous, right? Being pressing, right? And it's not an easy job to say, hey, man, I love myself, but myself, my broke self, ain't the next self. So habits got to change. Whether it's the waking up on time got to change. Whether it's the dressing a certain way got to change. Whether it's, the way I respect people got to change. And this is an ongoing thing. And even as you get better at some things, you'll still may backslide, which is perfectly fine. Because I'm not standing up here as the perfect distributor, mentor, leader, anything, right? But there's some things you can just get rid of so fast that your business explodes regardless. And part of it is the laziness. If you cure yourself of the laziness first, you don't even got to be all the way personally developed to be hella successful in Herbalife. Because you can just do the work. But then the work gets easier and simpler because who you attract by being a better person as you're working harder than you've ever worked before in your life, or harder than anybody that you see working as they're going for their goals. So you automatically are going to be more successful than somebody that's working at this level, because that's just how Herbalife works. You'll just start getting better. You start getting better. And life starts getting better. Life starts getting better. And then your family's life gets better. And then your friends' lives get better. And then soon, and the key is to become the person that people always say. Dennis Dowdell, 4 diamonds, 31, 32 years in the business, something like that, maybe 34 years in the business. He came up to me one time. He's like one of the personal development leaders of Herbalife. He's local out here in Orange County, so we get to see him a lot, touch him a lot. And remember the name Dennis Dowdell, so if you ever do see him on stage, make sure you grab him at an event like JKO. And he said, it's a big thing, right, to be in people's stories. And I thought he was talking about himself, but he was talking about me. And it just happened that a couple of these guys had hit some levels. And he said, you got to be part of people's testimonies. When they tell their story, slip your way into their testimony, right? That's what you should be doing, treating people like one day they're going to get on stage, man, they better say my name. Yeah. Oh, they didn't. All right, cool. Maybe I got to make a bigger impact on the next people or just on their same journey. Of course, the people you sponsor them to say your name, but then it's beyond, second, third level, as well as sidelines that how and who you invest into. They'll be like, yo, this one moment, and maybe they don't say it from stage, but they'll say it to you and say this one thing, it changed. That was a difference. That made me believe that I could do it because of what you said or what you did. So we got to get ready for a whole lot of stuff, right? It's going to go down. We have qualifications to go for. So everybody who's a supervisor, you guys all get a chance to qualify for the Utah Timber Moose promotion. As well as sit VIP for the January kickoff, which is going to be January 14th. Make sure y'all get your tickets. How many of y'all got them pre-sale early? You brand new, go get them online. is awesome. So doing that 15,000 volume points over 3 months, October, November, December, go to Utah. The conventions we got are crazy. Indoor pools, 70-something people, bing, bing, bing. We got 2 houses because we're going to qualify a gang of people. It's just on y'all to be part of them people. And a lot, right? So it's going down. Get to it. If you're a brand new supervisor, the first month of you being fully qualified, that's double volume, right? So if you hit last month in October, November, any volume you do is doubled, and then you'll have December to be able to hit your full 15,000, or you could just do the 7,500. 10,000 will actually get doubled. So if you do 10, you got 20. Do 10 again, you're part of the 30K club. And you guys got to make sure that the people that hit this month know to do the double volume in December so that they can do it. 7,500 is not a lot of volume. It's just a lot of people. It's a lot of effort, and it's very, very well worth it to also sit VIP, hang out with the press pack, get more than you've ever bargained for, and start the road to your magnanimous journey. So I'm going to bring Shelby back up, y'all. Thank y'all. Make sure y'all make some notes.
All right, you guys, how was that welcome in by Super? Yeah. Great, right? I say he's very modest. Yeah. The thing I like about his business, you guys, like he actually started his business. I don't know, y'all can tell it. Actually started his business at Groove with an ankle bracelet on, you guys. Like that. There's no excuses why we can't go out there in the world. If you can grow with an ankle bracelet and you really can't go outside and still grow and have a successful business, the mic drop. You ain't gotta do nothing else, right? So, and real fast before I introduce the next 2 up, we like to turn up, you guys. But because of the fact that the mic on the computer picks up, and it'll pick up the crowd more than it'll pick up the person actually speaking. So if we turn up, can we just keep that up quick and we're done? Respectful?
Yeah!
Cool.
We don't do the double claps on anything we get excited about.
That depends, all right, but all right. So the next 2 I want to bring up to you guys is a power couple. I got it. No, can I do it my way? So right, thank you. So they're before they're anything, you guys, they're a family. Their husband and their wife, mother and father. When they talk, they always compliment each other. One's into filming. He loves his production. And the other one, if you guys see her at STS, she's always running around, you guys. She's very like on the behind the scenes of our STSs. So when you see her, she gives you a hug and she's gone. You guys don't get to see her. So, and the other one is the other half of the twin. So I would like to introduce All Clear. Global Special Team. Hey, this is just
It's Jackie.
That's our relationship and our business. Thank you, Ruben.
Yeah, big solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hey, guys. My name is Crystal McKinley, just like their mother, Crystal McKinley. I am a Global Expansion team member alongside my amazing husband. Before Herbalife, I was overweight, overworked, trying to lose baby weight. My 3-year-old was not a baby, but I was still saying baby weight. And I was doing insanity, all these crazy things. Wasn't getting any results. Come along, husband with these shakes. And he drops 10 pounds in a week, and I was like, what in the heck? And he and my brother-in-law were trying to convince me that this was the product to use. Used the products all wrong, didn't follow any recommendation. Almond milk, was still doing Starbucks, just all wrong. And I dropped 60 pounds, you guys. I dropped 60 pounds. Fell in love with the products. products, told Super for the first time, you were right, I was wrong. That killed me more than using the products, right? But fast forward, I actually then started to see what could happen for other people in my exact situation. People who had a career that were just trying to be healthy, trying to avoid the donuts at the office, trying to avoid the soda in the machine, trying to avoid the pizza that was free for working, you know, and then make some money on the side while I'm selling this phenomenal product to my coworkers. And so fast forward, joined my husband in the business, and I am so excited that he was a yes for his brother, because if that didn't happen, he would have still been doing other things that I was encouraging him to do that made him happy, but wasn't making him having a fulfilled life. And there's a big difference between finding joy in things, but being fulfilled. So without further ado, let me introduce my phenomenal husband, Marcus All Day.
Good afternoon. What's going on? Like I said, Marcus All Day, been in the business for 4 years, almost 7 months. And like she already said, I lost 10 pounds my first week, and that just had me fired up. I started feeling this is my favorite ab. This is the first one I felt. And I said, you know what? If I can just do this a little bit more, I might get abs that I thought I'd never get again. So 11 weeks, 27 pounds down, got crazy results. Super said, hey, post your results. And I was like, man, I'm doing like some of you guys' clients. It was just here. It was no full face. I was doing the body shots real close to the mirror. But still posting these results. People kept, sliding in the inbox like, yo, man, I need that. I'm like, okay, great. And when I had that 27-pound weight loss that dropped my body fat from 24% to 10%, that result pick kind of cemented me into the business. I wasn't looking for the business opportunity. I wasn't looking to be a health coach. But I did notice that people were going to give me money to get those same kind of results. So it was an easy transition to do around going to school full-time, around working at a bakery, and being a husband and father, right? So again, now we're a global expansion team, and we're on the way to 2.5. Two claps. We're going to get it. We're going to put it together. All right. So the thing that I really that kind of brought me into the business was getting to an event. My first event was a mega training in 2012. Got to see Stefan Graziani talk about making $2 million in a year with Herbalife. in a year. Jesus. I said, oh, okay, this is like some legit stuff, right? And this is going to lead us into what we're going to talk about today, which is how important events are. All right. This right here is an event. Yeah. Clap it up for yourself for showing up. You guys too. Right? And so what you're going to get at these events, why we go to the events, why they're important, is because you're going to get these tips, these tools, these nuggets, these action steps that are going to help you be the best Herbalife distributors. Okay? And what we want to do that, why we want to bring our people to these events, are because you want to get them in front of in a room where you're not the highest pin, right? Whose upline is a millionaire team member? Wouldn't it be great to get them in a room with a press team member? Whose upline is a press team member? Would it rather be, would I rather learn from somebody that's even higher than my direct sponsor, right? Somebody who's 30K, somebody who has 4 diamonds, somebody who's Chairman's Club. That's why we go to the events, because you're going to get these different perspectives of people that have been inside the business and have been doing it for a long time and have different ways of doing it, right? The IE way isn't necessarily going to be the same as the Oklahoma City way or the San Antonio way, or, how other people do it, or even the Latin market, right? But guess what? We can implement and take some things. We can hear some things that are going to catch our attention and say, you know what? We don't do that, but maybe I could, right? I'm not so excited about the nutrition club, but I just learned about doing skin parties. Okay? I don't want to do skin parties, but I want to do some yoga. Hey! The yoga's popping. Or I'm not excited to do face-to-faces, but how can I get my social media game up? Or vice versa. Like, I don't have an Instagram. I don't want my clients or my coworkers to stalk me. So how do I get really good at face-to-face? So we want to show up to events to learn how to do the business, right? But guess what? We also want to be able to be inspired. We want to be able to see the possibility and hear the possibilities of how you can be an alcoholic, a felon on house arrest, and go to the top 1% of the company. You want to see how a bus driver can be 34 years in the business and have 62 lines of supervisors in his organization. He told me that's a phenomenal retirement plan. I said, all right, Dennis, I need to get like that. But you want to be able to bring your people to that too. Not only do you want to be inspired, but you want them to be inspired. Okay, so it's always important to get to these events. And then you want to use the events to train your team. Okay, anybody an Herbalife expert? Super, you an Herbalife expert?
Yeah, not really.
Not really. And he knows a lot. And in our organization, he is the highest paying. He's been in here the longest. He has the most seniority, followed by me and a couple other people. But we don't know everything, okay? And so instead of doing a lot of one-on-one sessions with people, hey, meet me at this event on November 12th. Come hear from a lot of other people that know how to do this business, all right? So we use the events to leverage our time. We use the events to build our business without having to do all of the personal coaching. Now, it's important to do the personal coaching, right? But it's also important to let the system work for you, right? We want to start working smart and not hard, okay? You want to start talking to the people and mentoring the people that are going to show up, because that's how you know they're serious. Right? If they're not going to show up to the big event, why would you want to spend your time talking to them when you could be talking to somebody that's really serious and wants to help you grow your royalty and grow their own royalty? You guys agree?
Yeah.
And so leaders, look around you. And then on the recording, you want to take notes of who's on this recording. Those who's on the recording. I see Maisha and Jay.
Screenshot.
Right? Those are going to be the people you want to talk to, because those are going to be the people that are serious, right? So the events are also great to help you find out who's serious. And aside from even the business events, it's the fit camps, it's the fit clubs, right? We're Herbalife distributors. Yeah. Not all of us are personal trainers, right? You're a personal trainer, Terrence?
No, bro.
He just got crazy results. But I don't think he wants to spend his time in the gym helping people lift weights. But guess what? He can bring them to an intense workout and bring 40 people here, and they can get a workout together at one time. That's working smart, not hard, right? So it's to getting the people into these systems where they can start bringing people. So again, this very new person who might not be adept at working out or teaching, they can bring them to the fit camp and let the system work for them, right? Your brand new member can bring them to their guests to SCS to let the system work for them, to train and teach and educate and empower. That's why it's really, really important to go to the events, show up to the events, and bring people to the events, okay? And the events are really important because it gives people a dependable structure to plug into, right? They're gonna know where they need to be all throughout the week, right? Based on your local structures. Where they need to be once a month, where they need to be quarterly, and where they need to be yearly for extravaganza! And the reason why that's really, really important, because that's the way she got into the business, right? So she got results, but it was 18 months after I signed up until she actually started doing the business. 18 months of living with somebody, watching me drink shakes and go to events and not wanting to do the business. But I got her to an extravaganza in Vegas and meeting you guys, right? Meeting the Herbalife family, seeing how amazing the corporate structure is and how well the events are run. Yeah, she kind of jumped in. And it was easier than me saying, come on, baby, you gotta do Herbalife with me, come on, baby, because that didn't work. But she got a couple hugs from Gabby. If you guys know Gabby, you know who she is. Right? And now she was in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Crystal. She's gonna talk about what she's gonna talk about.
This is going to be fun, guys. This is going to be absolutely fun. So in any event, thank you, Marcus, for dibbing and dabbing all throughout our agenda, because you summarized, you put a big bow on our entire section. You put a big bow, you summarized it, the importance of events. Events are crucially important. But I have a question for everyone. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about it. Literally 10 seconds. Don't say the answer out loud. You want to write it down to keep yourself honest, do it. The question is this. Can your sponsor or downline count on you to attend an event? Fabulous. Time up. So, with that being said, the answer is, did you commit to going to the last event and not show up? Were you missing an action from the last event and did you not show up? And if your answer was yes, I did not show up, then your first answer should have been no. My sponsor cannot depend on me to show up to an event. And once you're honest with yourself about those things, it's not a slap on the wrist at all, because that was me in the beginning. Okay, it's not a slap on the wrist. It's A, accepting that you know where you're at, and B, that's a growth opportunity. And this business is nothing but growth opportunities. I know why I'm at Get right now. I know why I'm not a press team 2 years later, right? I have many growth opportunities. So once you acknowledge those growth opportunities, you humble yourself, you get to the events, you plug into great people, you plug into great trainers, you become coachable, you listen to your sponsor, whether you understand why they're telling you what they're telling you, and you just go. And once you do that, I'm telling you, the business gets so much easier. So I am a working mom. I have 2 children that are wide in age, 15 and 7. They have different schedules, but I do not allow that to be my excuse for why I cannot attend an event. I have written down what are mandatory events, and I have written down what are events that have some flexibility to it. And I commit to it, and I don't back down. People know they're going to see me at the STS at registration because I need to be there one Saturday out of the month, or LDW, or Mega Camp, or JKO, or whatever, Mega Training, or whatever the training is that Herbalife and Herbalife Press team members have told me I need to be at. That's where I need to be at. Commit to that. So go to your myherbalife.com for your events, Herbalife events for your events. If you're not local, go to Herbalife events and figure out what's local to you and commit to showing up. When you plug in early and buy your ticket early, you get fun little stuff to show out and show up for. Okay, who has their early bird tickets, right? Okay, but it's that simple. And then where the flexibility comes in is the local events. So my husband and I have a nutrition club, and I am plugged in Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. That is my commitment. I am there no matter what, even if it means I'm coming in early, making shakes, going to pick up a son from the bus stop, coming back and cleaning up. They know I'm there. And that's what I do every week. People are like, Crystal, why are you checking in at the bus stop in Calabasas and then you're back at the club? Because I've made a commitment to my clients and to my business that I will be there no matter what. So what is your no matter what? What are you willing to do? Is it hot yoga on a Wednesday? What is your commitment? And show out every time. Show up branded and make it your DMO, daily mode of operation. Plug into our supervisor, our weekly training for more about DMOs, by the way, because we go over that. So let's get better at showing up to the events that we say we're going to show up for.
Absolutely. Great. And the final thing about the events are you're going to learn the Herbalife way. Soup kind of touched on it a little bit, is getting that happy, clappy, getting that energy, getting that positivity. You want to be able to surround yourself with that because the world's not giving you that. Your coworkers aren't giving you that. Your family's not giving you that. So guess what? You got to get that Herbalife infusion. You got to get that Herbalife juice. You got to get that so that you're the one that brings that light to everybody. So we want to go to these events to kind of learn the Herbalife way. The positivity, the personal development, the hugs, right? I don't know these people, but I'm hugging them anyway, right? Yeah, like Soup said, you're going to make people uncomfortable with how positive you are. And show up that way all the time. And sometimes you got to just keep getting to these events so you say, yo, I remember what it's like now. Now I can go back out and change the world and change my community and change pins. Cool.
So there are many steps to this, right? And some of them sound so basic and so like, I know this already. But I'm telling you, it's the little things that are missed on a consistent basis that keeps us from attracting what we need into our business. I promise you. I'm going to be completely real with you guys. Do I have permission to be real with you guys? Yeah. Okay. So how you show up, right? Your level 10 result is key, right? So I was in the beginning of my nutrition plan, say, oh, I lost 60 pounds, lost 60 pounds. You can't keep your same first result and let that be the only thing you're saying 3.5 years in the business. You can't, right? So, and there are people who have gotten the result and then lost that result and then came back and yo-yoed. And then that's not going to allow you to track what you want in your business, which is clientele that maybe want to do the business one day, right? So you got to get your level 10 result, maintain your level 10 result, and then keep going for another level 10 result out loud so your people know what you're doing on a consistent basis, okay? So I wasn't doing that. I was holding on to that little 60 day, and then I got with a couple people. Thank you, super team trainers. Got myself a little rippity plan, and now I'm leaning on out because it's always about getting your next result. But in the same breath, it's also how we are outside, right? So if you're going to the store, what do you look like? If you're going places where you're going to be around people, do you look like an Herbalife member that is successful, that is healthy, that has a positive attitude? What do you look like? What are you resonating? I'm a mom that didn't want to comb my hair. Poor husband. I was like, hey, you got me. I'm going to the store after a long day, right? But I noticed one day when I just happened to be coming from a business meeting that a whole bunch of more people were talking to me because of the way I looked. And the world, unfortunately, is not as personally as developed as we'd like. Some people are shallow. Let them be shallow. Let them attract you for whatever the reason is. Because you look good that day. Do you smell good? How do you smell when you walk into a room? Okay? And Herbalife used to have this phenomenal cologne. I think you still got some of it. But the lotion makes you smell good. Use the product, right? So use the products that are provided for you. You'll smell the way you want to look. You'll feel better. And then you'll end up attracting more that you want in your business. That's a sign of a leader. Utilizing the products that are there from the front. Your clients will be like, wow, I want to use that too. Your downline would say, wow, they're actually doing better because of it. And that's the initial steps that are required in true leadership in this business, okay? And the same thing with the fit clubs, because we're talking about in nutrition settings. We're talking about just in life in general. But when you come into a place of business, you want to make sure it reflects business. So certain nutrition clubs have different policies. Get with your nutrition club. Most of us are no sleeveless, especially if you're working the shake bar. Get with your hub that you're involved in and make sure that you're representing it properly.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
So again, this section that we're talking about is kind of your first steps into leadership. You guys already made supervisor, so congratulations.
Woo!
But it's now it's what are we doing to become leaders, right? Because you're gonna have an organization that's gonna start following you. So like she said, it's about how you show up. And the next thing we're gonna talk about is, well, you kind of got to be about the business, right? It's when you're showing up. Are you dressed appropriately? Are you acting like an adult?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Bad experiences, Mia? Are you learning? Are we not only going to the trainings, but do we have a pen and paper out? Not to iPhone, right? You're going to learn better when you write the tactile motion of putting things on paper. You're going to learn more. So do you have your notes? Okay? Because then they're great to pass to somebody. And then they're great to reference when you have to ultimately do a training. You got a bunch of notes that you can read off of and say, oh, man, I remember this. Yeah, I remember what he said. I remember how I felt when I wrote it. Okay? So it's important to write things down. You want to make sure that your learner leaders are learners. Okay? And so you guys are showing them to these events, and you guys are learning. You guys are taking these notes so that you can take them back to your team. Okay? Especially when they hit supervisor, you need to start laying these things out for them. All right? And then another step in leadership, you got to move up the marketing plan. Congratulations on being a supervisor. There's more. There's more. Pick those active supervisor cuts.
That's right.
Right? Because leaders make progress. Leaders actually move. Leaders qualify for things. They sit VIP. They go on the promotion trips. Okay? That means they're out doing the do. They're doing the work. Leaders show up. Leaders get into action. All right? So be about the business as a leader or as a potential future leader. And make that declaration to yourself of like, this is the things that I'm going to do to show up as a leader. All right. And then how are you showing up? Especially what's your social proof that that you even do Herbalife, right? Do you got your button on? They get it. They get it. Right? What are you posting when you're checking in? right? When you're checking in for the Sunday at the game, you guys at Buffalo Wild Wings, what does your table look like? Okay? Because if I see your picture, you got your salad, but I see your boy's picture over here, and he get that side view of your tall Pilsner or whatever this beer. I don't drink beer, so I don't know. Is that a real thing? Okay. You know, you got that. What are you showing? Okay? Are you faking the funk, or are you really about that herbal life? The key word is the life part. It's not the herbal moment, right? It's not the herbal only at Fit Camp after 5 p.m. is when I'm Herbalife. But are you really Herbalife? Okay? Because that's how your clients and your team members are going to trust that you're about that life, that they can invest their time and their energy and their money and their resources with you. Like Soup said, trusted leaders. Are you going to be a trusted leader by showing up? Right? And again, with that leadership, yeah, we all do certain things that may not be in alignment with the overall brand of Herbalife. Don't post it. Right? Don't post it. And if you're going to be out doing kind of whatever you're going to do, take your button off. Right? Don't be the Herbalife guy that was turning up, and don't be the Herbalife guy that was drunk in the club. Even if it's on a promo, represent. Ain't no examples. I'm just saying. What? You talking? Now, this right here. This part of it. This part of it. This part of it. Say it. It's on that. It said no turn up. All right. And again, you gotta show up and you gotta contribute. Right. Contribution is the gateway to leadership. You cannot be a leech. Leaders aren't leeches. They show up and they give something. Like Sue said, hey, I'm going to go to Great Habits. Like, I'm from LA. If I go to Great Habits, I'm going to come bring energy. Hey, how can I sweep? Can I clean something?
Yes.
Like, that's how I'm just going to show up. Right? That's me personally. But I encourage all of you to take that mindset on. You go to somebody's house, like, you may be kind of messy at home, but you don't go to nobody else's house to just mess stuff up, right? It's the same thing when you go to these nutrition clubs, the same thing when you go to these events. How can I help? Right? Because these things are put on by members, and they're just members. He just may be a member that makes a lot of money. He may just be a member that's at a higher level of marketing plan. But we put these things on, and so we just can't take. We got to make it easier for our leaders to do the do. So as supervisors, as potential leaders, as future leaders, contribute. Lighten the load for everybody. Right? The more we all contribute, the easier things go. Okay? You want to be the first in, you want to be the last out. Especially at like your nutrition club. Show up, set up for the pre-meeting, be the last one sweeping and mopping. Right? Even if you are the highest pin. Because then that sets an example of like, oh man, he's get team, he's middle team, he's still sweeping? Yeah. He's still taking out trash? Yeah. He's the one that cleaned up the nasty bathroom? Yeah. Because when you do it first, the team can't say, oh, I don't want to do that type. I've already done it. I've already given you permission to do it. Made it an allowance for you to do it. Okay?
Yes. So with regards to contributions, summing that up on with the bow, if you're new and you haven't been in a hub, find out how you can contribute. If you don't know, don't wait to message someone and they didn't message you back. Don't do that. Show up. Show up. Say, what can I do? If someone still doesn't give you an answer while you're there, just start doing stuff. You see this is a facility. You see there's chairs. Fold a chair up. You see there's shakes being made or tea maker. How can I help you? Can I help you? Ask. And then just do. Ask, do. Ask, do. If you're a seasoned person, don't allow yourself to become that seasoned person stuck at a certain area. Step into your greatness, tell them what you want, and step into that greatness. So I'm on shake duty. I've been shake maker for 3 months now. I want to do something else now. I want to teach somebody else how to do it, empower them, and now it's your thing. And then move on and do different departments within the nutrition club so that if the leader was gone, you could really run the thing from A to Z so Prez can actually go out and grow, which will help our business. Because if our Prez team members are looking phenomenal on social media, it'll only show us what we can do. So definitely learn to be able to do it all yourself. Take ownership. This is your nutrition club. Own it. Yes. Wherever you're at. This is my nutrition club. I'm inviting you to my nutrition club. And then we're going to end with integrity.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
Integrity.
Gotta be integrous. They gave me a hard time. All right, so look, stop discounting. All right, how do you get an Herbalife savings? Become a member. Because I promise you this, the people that you discount are not going to get great results because they're not going to value it. 4 years in the business, you ever discount somebody, Sue?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
First month, I didn't really know.
Did they do anything?
Yeah.
Anybody ever discounted something and they got like crazy results and they came in and it was fired up?
I never even heard of it.
She ain't never heard of it. Good way to be heroes. All right, so we don't get membership has perks. Membership has benefits. If people are really concerned about that, go ahead and make them become a member. Help them become a member. Show them the benefit of becoming a member. Okay? You want to also value our products. And by not discounting, you're going to make sure that they value our products. They're going to value your coaching. When you discount somebody, that's coming from a mindset of scarcity or lack. We don't want to operate that way. Right? Your clients may not say it. They might even not directly think it, but subconsciously, they're going to just devalue you and our products. And we don't want that because we got to go, so we got to treat it like such. All right? Go ahead. You want to jump on that? All right, yeah. And so you want to make sure that they just really value their investment into the nutrition program because that's what it is. It's not a cost. It's an investment because they're going to get a return. Whether that's lean muscle, whether that's abs, whether that's losing body fat percentage, there's going to be a return when the money leaves their pocket. All right? And then signing people up, you got to be integrous with that. If it's Hero's client, I'm not going to sign them up as a member. I'm going to reach back out to Hero and say, yo, dude, somebody fell off.
Even if they're closer to you. There are so many people I've turned back to the IE, it's not even funny. Just because the connection was with that person.
No matter what. And don't rely on the client to go back. You make that call. Like, yo, some such that hit me up. They was your client a year and a half ago. They talking about they want to be a member now because they seen some peanut cookies. You hit that person back because guess what? It's gonna be a trickle effect. All right, it's gonna be a trickle effect. You guys want to make sure you guys are doing the right things so that the wrong things don't happen to you. All right. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap that up, and we're gonna get Shelby back up here.
Thank you for your time.
How y'all feel about that section? Yeah. Powerful. One thing I always tell about when Marcus always speaks, you guys, like my first event, I never got to sit in the back. You hear people say, well, I sat way in the back. Marcus set me right up front, and he was just mentoring me the whole time. He was just saying, whatever you do, whatever happens, don't leave. Like, no matter what, no matter how you feel, just don't leave. So that's why I want to tell you guys, do not leave. No matter what goes on, do not leave. Yeah. All right, so next person I want to bring up, all the way from Wisconsin. He drove out here. Right? Just clothes, car, and the best friend. Now he qualified future military, future press team. He's get team 2.5. Yeah. He has 2 wonderful, beautiful twins. Yeah, clap for him, man. That's an accomplishment. My boy, and takes his body to the extreme. So my boy, summertime, Stephen Crawford. Hey. Appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it.
Oh, turn up.
I gotta do my own.
Yeah. Oh, long
Y'all
music.
gotta do it.
Right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, appreciate it. My bad. How's everybody doing?
Great.
All right, so I'm gonna tell my story. This is a little bit of it. First off, my name is Stephen Crawford. I am from Wisconsin. I've been in California for about 3.5 years now. And before Herbalife, like Shelby said, thank you. I actually was looking for something different in my life. You know, I was a college graduate. I played professional basketball in Iceland. And I went back home and I sat down and I was like, you know what? I really just want something better for my life. And where I am from is really like one of the worst places to be as an African-American male, you know, who wants more for their life. You know, they're used to getting these stigmas where I'm from. So what I did, me and my roommate decided to pack our car up and drive 32 hours across the country, Googled low-income housing, and we landed in San Bernardino. Day Street, to be exact. Oh, Lord, right? And that's what we got so many times. Oh, guys, you guys live on Day Street. We lived on Day Street for about 3 weeks, guys. And then we live where I am now. But being here, I ended up losing my full-time position at my job. And it was really rough for me. California is really expensive, as we know, especially coming from where I'm from and living out here. It was really, really rough. And I was in the library one day because I was like, you know what, I really came out here because I wanted to do fitness modeling and I want to do personal training. I want to open up my own gym. And it was not working out how I wanted it to work out at first. And then I was in the library printing out a resume for a job that I did not want to get, but I had to survive, right? And, you know, in walks this guy with a health coach tank top on. I'm like, I'm about to swerve on him because I done got approached a couple of times online about this health coaching stuff I don't know nothing about. And so I'm leaving the library. I've already got an attitude because life is just unkind at this point in time for me. I just got denied for like food stamps. So I was going to eat. It was all these things were happening to me. So I was not really in the correct mindset. But he stopped me and my roommate anyways and, you know, did an icebreaker, said something funny about, you know, us looking like we're big or something. I knew I wasn't, but I was like, oh, he thinks I'm kind of small. Cool. Let me talk to him. Now, you know, I remember exactly what you said. You said, what sports you play? Why you so big? And I was like, oh, man, he thinks, okay, cool. I'll stop talking to him for a second. And he started to show me these things, this kind of lifestyle that he was living. And I was like, okay, I'm living nothing like that. But I was still kind of blowing it off. But luckily, my roommate happened to be an overweight guy. He wanted to lose weight. And he was the researcher. You know, I was the one who made the decisions. He did all the research. So he was researching Super online. And he was like, man, they really wearing parents doing all this stuff. And I was like, okay, well, let's just go see. Let's go see. You know, I'm still not believing it. So we made a trip to Los Angeles, where it was around all these amazing leaders, a Saturday school, kind of like this, where everybody was excited. And I was like, man, they do this like all the time. And then I remember like the first person I met out there, if you guys know Erica Ringer, she's like loving basketball. And I'm like, dog, she just come up to me and talk to me like, I know, I just watched the movie last week. Like, hey, she do Herbalife? Like, it's really like this? And I went ahead and signed up as a member, but I didn't have money to start on, you know, my own plan because of my current situation. But luckily, my roommate was like, you know what, I'll be your first client. So it's very, very important to be connected with, you know, somebody at the beginning because all you need is one. I tell you all the time, all you need is one. Because he ended up losing 29 pounds his first month.
Yeah.
And what that did for my business, I can't even explain. You know, that month I was able to earn an additional $2,100, was able to make Supervisor within that first, 3 weeks of the business and just put my foot to the pedal. And within the year, reached global expansion team, less than 2 years, the pen that I'm at now, 2.5 global expansion team, earned some amazing income to where I'm able to do Herbalife full time. Now, what I'm going to talk to you all today about is, okay, now you're a supervisor. You decided, based on the things that All Clear said, you decided, okay, I'm going to actually do this for real. Now it's like, what is the first steps to actually become a supervisor? Now, what I like to tell people is this, and you can even write these down. I actually learned from Joe Addy that there are different kinds of supervisors. And this is something I think people kind of skip over this step a lot. Deciding what kind of supervisor that you want to be. So if you're in the room and you're a brand new supervisor, you really want to take a look at what these sections are and decide where you fit in, what you're going to commit to. And if you're a seasoned, person who has people that are actually creating a supervisor for themselves and creating businesses for themselves, you have to actually have that conversation with them and find out what kind of supervisor they want to be. That way you can hold them accountable for what they said that they want to do. Not, okay, I'm going to make this person this kind of supervisor. Because I don't know if you guys know, but Mark Hughes didn't create this business for everybody to go to presidency. He created the business because he wanted people to have a healthy meal and he wanted people to become healthy. A business just so happened to be made out of it, and people took advantage of it and ran with it. Only 4% of people do this business full-time anyways. So you have to decide what kind of supervisor it is that you want to be and that you're going to commit to. And having a conversation with our upline, chief executive, president's team member, Jelani, she said that there are 3 kinds of supervisors. There are product lovers, there are distributors, and there's business builders. Now, we know product lovers are people who get to the 50% and they don't really want to have anything to do with the business. They get to 50%, they just want to enjoy their products. They got to the highest discount. Because a lot of times we're like, okay, let's go. Now get to the STS. Okay, bring people with you. And they're like, hold on, wait a minute, bro. I just wanted to have the shakes at 50%. You're forcing me to be something that I don't want to be. And what happens to that person? They go away. I'll take somebody who eats at 50% forever. The next step is, do you want to be a distributor? And the difference between a distributor and a business builder is a distributor is somebody who, hasn't really decided that they want to do the business full time, but they have a few people that they want to help, family, friends. I actually have somebody in my 3rd level who I met who was like, you know what? My family, we got a lot of money. I don't really care about making money and building a business. I like the products at 50%. I like being able to help people. But I don't really see, the value in going to trainings and whatever, because money is, good with them. So I can't force this person, even though I know that they have clients, I still can't force this person to be like, go to the STS, drive 3 hours to your STS, no matter what. I can't do that because they didn't want that. That's not what they want. They can change their mind, but that's not what they said that they initially wanted. Then you have business builders, which most of you all, since you're here, I would have to presume, I don't like to assume things, but since you're here, I would want to say that most of us want to be business builders, right? Yep. So now I'm going to expand on exactly something that All Clear touched on is they talked about creating no matter what. And one thing that you want to sit down with your people and do at the beginning is create it's almost like a standard of no matter what. What are you going to commit to? When I first came into this business, it was a few things that I knew that I was committed to right off the bat. I said, I'm always going to go to events no matter what. It took a little bit of time, but I said I was always going to be branded. It took a little time first. Then I understood the value of it. But then it's like create standards for yourself and for your people. What are you committing to? 2,500? Okay, cool. Make that a standard. Or like they made me do at the beginning, I didn't know nothing else but 5,000 volume points or less. That was my standard that I had for myself. So when I was in the business and they were like, Steven, how are you moving so fast and how you changing? I don't know. I just committed to saying I'm going to do this. And I do it every month, no matter what. And that's just that. I was always going to go to events. I know people like, I don't want to go to events because I don't have any guests. I've been here for 3 years. Y'all see, I don't have nobody in the room, right? My circle of influence is like online and back home. Because I started Herbalife as soon as I got to California. So this isn't my hometown. This isn't where I'm from. The people that connected to me are where I went to college and where I'm from, like my hometown. So that's where majority of my team was. I was able to build a global expansion team business outside of California. But, oh, thank you. Appreciate it. But you're always going to see me at the STS because I committed to that. You're always going to see me hard on myself if I don't do 5,000 volume points because I committed to that. And the good thing about this is if you're ever struggling and you're thinking about like, dang, I'm not really doing, business how I want to. I'm not growing. I'm not evolving like I wanted to. Take a look at your no matter what. Are you fulfilling the promises that you made to yourself? Are you making good on those no matter what's that you said that you were going to do when you first were excited about the business? I'm going to everything. I'm so excited. Herbalife is, I'm all Herbalifed out. All right. Well, like we say, time will tell, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part. Because a year in, we got to see, am I still going to events or am I making excuses? Because the way we do it, and we, in November right now, we already got stuff checked off on December and January that we committed to events. Right. So now we structure everything around that. Oh, man, mom coming in town, cool. We come, but I got SCS on Saturday. Right. You gonna come? You coming? You know, that's the kind of standard that leaders uphold themselves to. What kind of standards are you committing to for yourself? And no matter if you have 100 people that show up with you, if you have all your clients quit on you, 2,500 volume points is honest. To be honest, guys, it's personal effort. One thing that I've learned is you can do 2,500 volume points by yourself if you wanted to. If you wanted to. So if you say, man, my standard is 2,500 volume points no matter what, and I ain't got no members doing volume, I got to go get it.
That's right.
And at the end of the month, if I don't get it, it's on me. I can't blame my upline for not giving me nuggets. So create no matter what. Now, the next point that I'm going to touch on is listening with a teaching ear. Now, this is a really good one because a lot of times we deal with people who come and they're like, I don't want to keep coming to this training. Just how we talked about, sometimes people don't come with you. And you go to the STS, you're like, man, I'm by myself. I'm going to sit here on my phone. I'm going to sit in the back because I ain't got nobody here to listen to them. Oh, you check lift off. That's what I do, though. That's my thing. I'm sorry. This is what happens. Somebody said they listen. Cool. All right. So listening with the teaching, what this actually means is, okay, you've been to an event before. And you go to the same, like we have the Hero School on Fridays. We have the SCS each and every month. You're like, dang, I keep hearing the same thing. Cool. Do this with your people. If you have people that say this to you, like, okay, cool. Well, do HOM for me right now.
That's right. Yes.
You gotta give me a little bit of time. You're not listening then at the event. You listen the first time to learn things or the first couple of times to learn information. Everything after that is, okay, how can I become this kind of teacher for my people? Because if you get somebody on the phone randomly and they can't teach you the marketing plan, they're not listening. So the biggest thing about showing up to events is, how are you going to show up? How are you showing up today? Are you on your phone? Because you heard the information before. Are you on Facebook? Are you trying to get new clients? Or are you saying, how can I be that person teaching my team? Because if you don't want to be that person teaching your team, you're not going to have to build a business of people who do the same thing. So you have to keep in mind that whenever I go to, let's say at STS, I'm not good at products. Let me see how they train products. Or for me, I wasn't good at the marketing plan. So I had to admit that I was not the best at the marketing plan. I don't like math. I don't like numbers. I like making money, but I don't like math. So I had to listen to how Terrence do the marketing plan. He does it very well. So now I got to. Yeah, I ain't have to clap for that. But he does the marketing plan very, very well. So I have to listen as to how he's talking. What is he saying? How is he articulating? How is he drawing it? He's making it real simple. Right. And then the personal development section, I have to listen to how they're upholding themselves, how they're moving across the stage. How is this person so impactful to this audience?
That's good.
I have to become very studious. Like they said, leaders are students forever. Forever. And the moment that you think that you got it is the moment that you lose it. Right. You always have. Sorry, my bad. But you have to be studious forever. I'm a 2.5 global expansion team member. I've been in and out of millionaire team cuts all year. So what I gotta do? I gotta be a student to the millionaire team and the president's team member to figure out what it is that I'm doing wrong or maybe not implementing just quite yet in order to make sure that it's no problem. So you have to figure out, what do I need to learn? Okay, let me get to this event and implement that into my learning for today, because that's all the STS is. It's for everybody. So the next point I want to get into, the next bullet point, is packaging your story. And this is a really specific one. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but the reason why you package your story is for moments like this. When we get up here, the first thing that we tell is our story. It comes off smooth, right? Everybody's story is real smooth. That's because they practice it and they package it. When you get on stage and they pass you the microphone and you got to tell your story. If you don't, I kind of lost, 15 pounds. I think I made $500 last month. You don't want those moments. You want to have that story thing to where it's packaged. And I remember when I first started going to trainings in Los Angeles, Marcus was like the hound for packing stories. Come on, let's go. Pack the story real quick. Because guess what? When you're in the elevator and Susie got something to say to you about your button, are you going to sit there for 30 minutes and have a conversation with her? Or is it going to be that quick? Oh yeah, I did this, and this is my my story. This is what I did on the products. Are you interested? Let me get your contact. Boom, walk out the elevator. 20 seconds. Elevator probably don't last that long. Or when you see somebody checking out at the grocery store, you don't have a whole lot of time to sit there and talk to this person at the cash register. A lot of times in life, we don't have these 15, 20 minutes to sit down and have a conversation with people. So that's why you package your story. And the simple reason on how you package your story is, everybody kind of has different things they like in their story. And I'm not going to say this is the kind of story you need to have, but it's really depending upon the setting. But package story is very, very simple. Your name, what you did before Herbalife, your health result, and if you have an income result, and you ask them the last question, is it something that you're interested in? It's simple. And if you stick to these points, hi, my name is Stephen. When I started Herbalife, I was this, I gained 40 pounds, and doing that, sharing with my family and friends, I was able to earn $7,000 last month. And, I'm able to live this kind of lifestyle, be a present father. Is that something that, kind of interests you? Yeah, I'm interested. Boom, contact. Quick. It's quick. So if you haven't been in the mirror, like a lot of times, if you put a camera in my house, you'll see me, I'm walking around and I'm talking to myself all the time. You'll probably think I'm crazy, but that's my way of like learning and always being ready and being prepared no matter what. Like after I do this training here, I'm talking to myself through this training. I'm packaging what I'm going to say so I'm not up here rambling. Or if I have to train on stage at STS, I'm making sure that I'm going through whatever I got to go through before I get in that setting. Because the last thing you want to do is like somebody walk up to you, how do I lose weight? Like, see, we got these shakes. And then you start talking about products, and now you've gone to the presentation right there instead of the invitation. And you never do the invitation and presentation at the same time. You always invite them to the presentation. So if you get to spewing, listen, people got a short attention span. And that first initial contact with somebody, they want that first like 20 to 30 seconds, they know whether they're going to listen to you or not. No matter what you say after that minute goes by, you rambling, they have already either locked in or they've gone away. And you can either shoot yourself in the foot or you can talk yourself out of the situation. So package them stories. Make sure your stories are packaged. Make sure you practice in the mirror. Make sure that you're really, really good and solid on your stories. And when Super be like, go on stage, you won't be scared to go on stage because you already know what you're going to say. If you create that culture, look, Ruben created a culture of going on stage. Now who they got going on stage yelling? We see Armani up there every month yelling. Whoa, turned up. Like, okay, cool. Let's go, Armani. But guess what he's going to have now? He's going to have people that parade on stage to tell their story. And that's the kind of leaders that you want underneath you, people who aren't scared to really talk about their life, right? Now, the last thing that I'm going to touch on, the last point, is getting in front of the room as much as possible. And when we say in front of the room, we're talking about Zooms. We're talking about on stage at the STS when they give you the opportunity to tell your story. On stage, you want to, how many people have a desire to train on stage? So ask yourself, have you contributed to a Zoom call? Do you go on stage every time they tell you to go tell your testimony? Are you already doing that? If not, you're not doing the steps. You're not taking the steps that are before getting on stage. They're not just going to ask you, wow, Mia, let's get Mia on stage. Well, we ain't never heard her story before. We don't even know if we can trust her to get up there and do what she's supposed to do. Because little do we know, it's not Super that gets us on stage. We think it's him, but it's other people. It's the other President's team members that hear you and see what you're about, hear your story on stage, like, I want to hear more from that person. So if you become the kind of person who's always seen, that's how you step into a leadership role. I'll tell you guys, thank you, Shelby. I'll tell you guys how much it kind of like, I'm not going to say sucks, but it's like not the best thing in the world to open up your Zoom call for questions or say, does anybody have anything to share? And nobody says anything. You got 50 people on the call and nobody say anything. That is almost a direct reflection of how your business is going to be. Your business is going to be exactly how people contribute to the calls and the trainings. But what do you have to do first? You have to be the person who, listen, for a year, I put on Ustream calls before we had Zoom, and I did all of these things before. I was, telling my story. I was getting on panel. I was on stage training. And now I have a group of people who want to do the same thing. And as a leader, if you want to become a leader, you have to be able to get in front of the room and tell a story. Do an HON. You have to be willing to do products, even if you're not good at it. You have to be willing to mess up first.
That's right.
If you ain't willing to mess up first, then, like they say, leaders continuously grow up. You're going to be stuck at the same spot. Those are comfort zones. You know what comfort zones are. Dead zones, broke zones, places of complacency. So if you're not committed to doing the things that are uncomfortable, guess what? This is the biggest thing. You're going to attract that same kind of person in your business. And then you're going to be sitting around like, dang, why is nobody coming to this event? Why is nobody from my team on this Zoom call? Why is nobody showing up to the workout? Then you look at your volume, dang, why is nobody hitting 2,500? It's because that's not the culture. You have to create the culture. That's why I love what we're doing right now, creating a new culture, a standard. Because if we don't do this, you ain't gonna do it. If we don't stand up here with, like you said, eloquence, I like that. If you don't stand up here with eloquence and be able to deliver to people and to be able to train, then you're not going to ever have anybody in your business like that. There's like a 1% chance. There's people that slip through the cracks. But 99% of the time, you're going to attract this. This is what Garen Jones told me. Y'all know who Garen Jones is, right? His sponsor. He called me. This is what I close with. He called me one time after I was kind of feeling myself a little bit. I did like 17,000 volume points in a month. And I was like, oh man, I'm okay, can't nobody really tell me that? No, Garen's calling me. Let me put this workout on hold to hear all this gloating that he's about to do for me. And he's like, hey, congratulations on, doing that and hitting active world team. But what's your team doing? And I had to look. I was like, oh, organization went backwards. We hit the 10,000 and the very next month it was like 5. He's like, why would that happen? And I said, oh, they're not really wanting to do things right now. We did it. He said, well, they're doing exactly what you're doing. You're attracting that into your business. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little upset on the phone calls. Like, man, this dude did not just call me to tell me, what I'm doing wrong. But it's the realest thing ever. However your business is what you're attracting. You can look in the mirror all day and think that you're some kind of way, but your business ain't on. It's not gonna lie. The way that your organization is set up, the way that them royalties run, and the number of supervisors that you have coming through is a direct reflection of how you are. So if you're like, I can't get nobody, what are you doing then? What kind of leader are you then? Are you showing up no matter what?
Right.
Have you implemented no matter what? Have you held yourself to a higher standard? Or are you in the habit of complaining that you ain't got nobody? Are you in the habit of doing these things that leaders do not do? So that's the last point that I wanted to touch on is, we gonna just wrap up the section and say, listen, whatever you decide to do, whatever pocket you decide to slide into as a supervisor, just remember, don't expect your people to do anything you're not doing. So if you want to have people doing 5K, if you want to create that culture, 10K, whatever you guys, 100K, whatever y'all be doing. If you want to have that come after you, you got to do it first. You can't be a millionaire team. You cannot be a millionaire team member if you're not a part of a millionaire team organization first. You have to be a part of something first.
That's good.
A lot of us want to make it to global expansion team, but you got to be a part of one first. Contribute to one first, and then it's going to come. You did, it's coming. It's coming. I feel it. It's coming. We got to pay our dues sometimes. But that's my time, guys, so I appreciate you guys.
Amazing, you guys, right? Amazing. I had the part when he talked about creating a standard for yourself. So that's something a lot of people don't do. I know I wasn't, but I committed to something this morning, and now I got to live up to it. Because once you speak it into the world, you got to do it. Okay? So we're about to have a quick intermission, quick little shake break.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you haven't ordered your shake, order it now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What up, y'all? We staying on. I'm about to pause this recording, and then we'll start the recording on the next. So stay tuned for part 2.